Hello friends, in this lesson we're going to talk about process management in Linux. So what are processes or what is a process? Any program that runs in the computer memory is called as a process. So processes are of two types. The number one is automatic process and the number two is interactive process. The automatic processes are those processes which are started by the system during boot time, okay, and the interactive processes are those processes which are started by or executed by the user, okay. The command or the program that we start from the shell are comes in the category of interactive processes, okay. So as a Linux system administrator, it is your job to make sure that your system runs correctly and gives a better performance, okay. So in this lesson I would like to show you 3 or 4 commands with the help of which you can monitor the processes, their status, or you can also view the CPU activities. So let's see practically how to do this. Okay, the first command that I would like to show you here is ps. With ps command you can view the list of processes that are running on your system, okay. So let's type ps and hit enter, and here you can see it shows 2 processes are running and it shows their process IDs, okay. So the process IDs are very important for us, okay. We're gonna learn about it later, but for now just remember it is the useful information. With ps command you can try different switches, like if you try -e, then it will list all the processes running on your system, okay, like this, or you can view them one by one with this option like this. By hitting enter you can view each process one by one, okay, like this, or by passing -e and f. When you pass f, then it will list all the processes in full format like this, okay. And when you provide l, then it will list all the processes in long listing like this, okay. In this way you can try these switches with it and get a lot of information or a better information, okay. The next switch is AX. When you pass AX, then it will show the running processes in short BSD style, okay, short BSD style. And when you pass AUX, then it will show all the processes in long BSD format like this. And you can track a particular user information here, means which processes are initiated by that user with the help of this ps command like this. Just need to provide -u and username, and here you can see these are the processes which are started by me, okay, which is the logged in user here. So in this way you can track your users, means which processes there are running or what are they actually doing on the system, okay. In this way you can use the ps command, okay, and get such an useful information. The next command that I would like to show you is top. So let's see what it reveals. The top command explains everything and which is very important information about the processes. So let's see one by one here what this output shows to us, okay. Let's talk about the first row. The first row reveals about the uptime of this system or the server, okay. Here you can see this server is running since last 8 hours and 35 minutes, okay. The next part shows the number of users that are currently logged in. Here only one user is here on the system, okay. The next part is load average. It is the most important part here, and the value here is the number of processes that are waiting to be handled by the CPU, okay. The next row explains the information about the tasks that are running, okay. Here you can see it shows the total number of tasks, that is 122. Out of that, one is running and the rest 121 are in sleeping mode. The next part explains the stopped task out of that. So here 0 tasks are stopped and the next part explains the zombie processes or the zombie task. So what is zombie process? Any process that is stopped but it unable to give its exit status to its parent process. So such processes are called as the zombie processes. So here the 0 zombie processes are on this system. So let's talk about the next row, that is CPU. So the first part is US, that is user space. It shows the involvement of the CPU in the user activities. Okay, the next part is SY, that is CPU activity in system space. That is it shows here currently 1.7 and it's constantly changing. Okay, so this part reveals the CPU activity in system space. The next part is NI. So the value here indicates the amount of time spent by the CPU on low priority processes. Okay, the next part is ID, that is CPU inactivity. This part explains us that the inactivity of the CPU. So the greater the number here, that means your system is doing nothing. Okay, the next part is WA. So the value here indicates the amount of time your CPU waiting for the input. For example, the input output hardwares that are connected to your system like hard disk, keyboard, mouse. Okay, the next one is HI, that is the hardware interrupt. So this part explains or shows us, or the number here shows us that the amount of time spent by the CPU interacting with the hardware. And the next part is SI, that is software interrupt. So the amount at this point or this part explains us the amount of time spent by the CPU interacting with the software. And the last one is ST. The value at this point indicate the amount of time stolen by the virtualization hypervisor from a virtual machine. So in this way, this third part explains all the information about the CPU and the system. The next row explains the information about the memory. So it explains the total amount of memory available, then out of that the free, and out of that the used, and the rest is the buffer or cache memory. And the next row explain the information about the swap memory, like total available swap memory, and then free, and then used, and then available memory for use. Okay, let's talk about the last row here. The first part here reveals PID, that is the process ID. The process IDs are very important. Suppose you want to kill a process, then to kill a process you need to provide the process ID to the command. So the next part is the user. So it reveals the user information to which the process belongs. Okay, the next one is PR. PR explains us the priority or shows us the priority of the process. The next one is NI, that is the nice value. With the help of nice value we can set the priorities. Okay, so we're gonna learn about this in the next lesson or the next part. The next is VIRT. It shows us the total amount of memory claimed by the process. Okay, so the Prashant process is currently occupied 8152 kilobytes of memory. And the next part shows us RES, that is the resident memory. Resident memory is the memory which is actually used out of the VIRT, means the claimed memory. And the next one is shared memory, means the memory which is shared by this process with other process, okay, out of the used memory. And the next part is S, which explains or shows the status of the process. R means that is running, S means in sleeping mode. If it shows Z, that means it is zombie process. If it's showing you T, that means it is stressed or stopped process. And if it shows you D, that means it is uninterruptible sleep. Okay, in this way these symbols reveals the status. The next one is CPU. The CPU part here shows us the amount of CPU activities caused in the last polling cycle. Okay, so what is polling cycle? A polling cycle means the time in which a device or a process monitored once, okay, and continuously. So in this way it gives the information about the last polling cycle, and then The next part is memory. So this is the percentage of memory that has used in the last polling cycle. The next one is the time. This indicates the total amount of time that has used by the process since first it was started. Okay, the next part is command. Okay, so the process which is belong to which command, so it gives the information about it. So in this way you can monitor here all the information which is very essential as in system administrator. Okay, suppose you want to kill a process. Okay, then you just press K on your keyboard, and here you can see it shows default process ID is 2317. So I'm going to type it 2317 and hit enter. Send PID 2317 signal 15. Okay, here you can see the command top is stopped here when we send this 15 number signal to this. Okay, so there are different kinds of signals that we're going to learn in the upcoming lesson. So there are some other things that you can do with this top command, like suppose you want to delay the output of these processes, then you can delay by providing the time in seconds. Let's see the output. Okay, here you can see it's showing the output with the delay of 2 seconds. Let's send it to 0. Okay, and now here you can see how fast it's showing the output. Okay, the next switch is -p. With this switch you can view a particular process. Suppose I pass 2322, but currently it's not showing anything here. But remember that with this you can view the information about that particular process by sending here that process ID. When you pass -b, then it start or it shows the output in non-interactive mode. Okay, let's see what is non-interactive mode. Okay, like this means we can't do anything here. It continuously shows in this way the output. Okay, to stop it, press Ctrl C. Okay, let's clear it. With top -u you can view an information about a particular user like this. Okay, so it's currently showing in the processes initiated by the user Prashant like this. You can press Ctrl C to stop. Okay, let's start again the top, and suppose you press Z, then you can see the output in color format, and when you press B, then you can highlight it. Okay, like this. Okay, in this way you can view the lot of more important information with the help of these commands. The next important command I would like to show you is uptime. Uptime gives you the same information that we saw with top command, and there is a command free. It show you the same output which we saw with the help of top command. Okay, about the computer memory. Okay, in this way you can see the list of processes that are running on your system, and you can see the amount of memory that is used by a particular process. Okay, and with the help of that you can get to the point that which process is actually causing the problem, like hanging your system or not running in proper way. Okay, in the next lesson I'm going to show you how to set the priorities of the processes, okay, with the help of nice and renice command